Currently, this is a paperweight for me. This is a Sandman K suppressor with the e-brake on it, and it is no good to me right now because it is permanently affixed to this chemo mount, and I do not use the chemo mounting devices anymore on any of my rifles. So how do we fix this? How do I give this life again? Enter Scott's silencer service. Scott is going to be able to take my can and convert it to hub compatible, which to me is huge. This is so cool. And there's a ton of cans that he's able to do this on. So we are going to breathe new life into this thing, and I'm going to be able to use it again on all of my rifles. Anything that can take a hub compatible mount, this will now be able to work with. Personally, I use the Plan B style mounts. I think they're awesome. I prefer the ones from Comstock Armory. One of the things I'm looking forward to is weight savings. Changing this to hub compatible will get rid of this chemo system right here and take a lot of weight off of the can. Also, the chemo muzzle device itself weighs a lot. So between this system on the can and the muzzle device, we're gonna save a lot of weight. So I'll put it on the screen here of what this Sandman K with the chemo muzzle device weighs in total. But I'm gonna show you guys the process. Scott has agreed to collaborate with me on a video. So I'm gonna send my can to him. He's gonna work on it, send it back to me. It's gonna be an FDE Cerakote and it's gonna be hub compatible. And I'm gonna show you guys this can when I get it back. So now it's time to send it off to Scott's.
Hi guys, this is Scott at Scott Silencer Service LLC, and I just wanted to do a little, put together a little thing for everybody to kind of see what we're doing here. We'll show some machines running. This is our barrel threading machine, and we use this for some parts, and then we have our bigger Mazak over there, and we also have a little screw machine that we use. And the rest of the shop's kind of a mess. We've been reorganizing and getting a new shop set up going. So that's about all I got. We'll let everybody meet the crew here in a bit and go from there. Hi guys, I'm Scott at Scott Silencer Service, and I run the majority of the machines and make the biggest messes.
I'm Josie, and I'm the social media manager as well as the artist designer.
I'm Jennifer, and I do all the billing and logging in and out and shipping, and also learning how to use the CNC machines.
Hi guys, this is a Dead Air Sandman K that we're gonna go ahead and do a hub conversion. So we'll start by disassembling the original chemo mount. Sometimes they take a little bit of pressure. Mount, springs, and the piece that we're going to replace is this, what was inserted into the core. It'll go into the lathe. We'll cut that off and go from there. So now we've got the Sandman K mounted in our small screw machine and running relatively true within about 3.5 thou, which is plenty good for a suppressor. Quite often they have quite a bit more run out to them. Sometimes we have to straighten them up, straighten the cores up, but this one looks pretty good, so we'll go ahead and commence cutting the mount off. So these are our basic mount pieces that we machine in-house. We've got two different styles. These are for the Dead Air. These are AAC, before heat treat, after heat treat, and then we install those and cut the threads to fit. So now we've threaded the inside of the core, not the housing, but the core itself. We take our insert piece, we can install it into the core. Bring it up snug, and then we'll prep these parts for welding. This basically makes up the difference of the piece that we cut off. So the Sandman K is prepped for the hub extension piece to weld. So we'll assemble these and get them nice and snugged up and take them to the welder. So after we complete the threading operation, we have a test gauge that is slightly larger than any of the existing mount pieces that people use, that we insert, and we check our threads to make sure that they pass and we don't end up with threads that are under spec. We had some trouble for a while with mount pieces that were slightly oversized, and so now we accommodate for that with this gauge, and it looks good. And after we test the thread fit, we then proceed to do a alignment test. Which I typically will do with an alignment rod. I visually inspect. Looks good. And then I'll run an alignment rod. And looks good. So after we're completed all of our tests and inspections, into the blast cabinet we go. We blast them with aluminum oxide in preparation for Cerakote, and then once they're done, we clean them thoroughly, complete Cerakote, and that's about the size of that. So now we're back. We've got a completed Sandman K. I'm going to install the end cap. And then this will explain a little bit about various types of hub adapters that will go into this now. Instead of the original mount, the chemo, we have, this is a direct thread mount that we machine in-house for 5/8 24 that goes to hub, and this is the stainless steel version. So then that could be used with a direct barrel mount. It's a very nice solid lockup. A lot of long range shooters really like these designs. They're very solid, and if you leave it mounted to the rifle, you leave your suppressor mounted to the rifle and the mount mounted to the barrel, then you can maintain your accuracy long term. So it's very popular with long range shooters. We machine small batches of these and they tend to sell very quickly. So we have another couple of mounts to show here. We have the area 419, and these use an adapter piece that goes on the barrel. So this piece would stay with the suppressor, and they thread in, and then this would attach to your rifle barrel on a separate mount attached to the threads. It's another very popular mounting system from area 419. And then lastly, we have what kind of started the whole revolution on the hub design from Silencer Co., the ASR mount. And these are still quite popular, but the spec for the hub design came from basically from this mount. So there's very specific criteria for fit. And that's a very popular system as well. And so is a completed Sandman K in FDE Cerakote. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Big thank you to Scott and Jennifer for making that video for us. It's really cool to see the process of what goes on. And I've got it back now, my Sandman K that is hub compatible. How cool is that? This is no longer a paperweight for me. Now I can use this again on all my different setups. And I think there's a lot of people out there that are going to be excited when they find out you can take a lot of these different legacy mounting system cans and send them to Scott's Silencer Service and make them hub compatible. I was super excited when I found out about it. I'm very excited now that I've got it back and I see the quality of his work. The threads are concentric. The machining is very well done. I've already test fitted on several things. It's perfect. So very excited. Thank you very much, Scott. You did a great job. Now, yeah, the Sandman K is not a 3D printed low back pressure can, but it's still a good can. Just like a lot of these other legacy cans out there are still good cans and very much still worth using. Just because there's newer technology and better technology now doesn't mean that these awesome legacy cans that we all have should just sit there and become paperweights. I think it's kind of wasteful, and it's also just not ideal because these still have a purpose. These still can fill a niche. They still can get work done. And so I'm really, really a proponent of taking these legacy style cans and making them hub compatible. I just think that's awesome. And you know, another thing that I'm excited about is not only is this hub compatible now, which is a big deal, but there are weight savings. So when you go from having the affixed chemo mount and the chemo muzzle device to a Plan B style mount and a Plan B style muzzle device, you can save a lot of weight. And that makes a difference, especially when you're talking about weight at the end of a barrel. Due to the way a fulcrum works, that actually feels heavier. Even 2, 3, 4 ounces can make a difference in how your whole system, your whole rig feels. And so we get weight savings here as well, which is very, very cool. But look at the FDE Cerakote that he did on here. Is just absolutely beautiful. Looks awesome. And I'm going to take some measurements now and show you guys the weight difference compared to what it was before I sent it out. And I think that's going to be pretty cool. But I will be putting Scott's contact information below in the description box as well as in a pinned comment. Be sure to go check him out, contact him. He's super nice to work with. Tell him Texas Gear Guy sent you. I would appreciate that. And I'm very excited about this. I can't wait to start using this can again. I'm so, you know, when you've spent $800-900 on something, you hate to see it just sitting there and become a paperweight. So the fact that this is now usable again to me is just awesome. Okay, so this will be the weight savings now as compared to how I sent it off where it had the affixed chemo adapter to it. So now we are coming in at 15.13 ounces. So I'll put the weight savings here on the screen compared to what it was before, which is pretty cool. So now off camera, I'm gonna take the e-brake off and we'll just weigh just the can without the e-brake. That comes to 12.24 ounces. And now let's add a adapter to the bottom of it. And I'm gonna be adding this Diligent Defense Zilch adapter. This is not my favorite. My favorite is the Comstock Armory titanium adapter. I think it has better wrench lugs than the Zilch does here, and really a very minimal amount of difference as far as how much it sticks out. But off camera, I'm going to add this on here so we can weigh it with this Diligent Defense adapter, because this is still titanium and it is lighter than the chemo adapter by far that I sent it out with. So that together weighs 16.3 ounces. Now we can add the Comstock Armory Plan B style brake, and the whole system comes out to 18.31 ounces, which is not bad when you're considering it's the whole system, the brake, the adapter, the can with the e-brake. Again, this is a legacy can, Sandman K. They're a little bit heavier, but that is not bad for the whole system. And I want to show you a comparison between the Dead Air Key Micro brake, so this is not even their big brake, but the Key Micro brake versus the Comstock. So the Dead Air brake comes at 3.7 ounces versus the Comstock brake at 1.98 ounces. So that's or 2 ounces. So that's a 1.7 ounce difference, almost 2 ounce difference. So I hope y'all found this informative. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be very excited about this, just like I am, because it is so cool to be able to turn these legacy style cans to being hub compatible. So Scott, you did a great job. Thank you very much. I will be putting Scott's information again in the description box as well as in the comments. Go give him a shout. Tell him I said hi. And y'all, thank you for watching Texas Gear Guy.